Hello, how's everybody doing? Yay, it's Thursday. We almost made it. Almost Friday. I'm so excited. It's just the little things. Just getting closer to Fridays just makes me so happy. So I am coming in tonight using, this is by far my absolute favorite board. I've probably said that more than once, but I am obsessed with this board. I think it looks amazing with just about any project that you put on it. And I am so incredibly sad that Chalk Couture is not selling it anymore. Oh, I'm so sad about that. But they do have the amazing Aiden boards that are very similar. This one to me just has just a tiny bit more detail, and I apologize because my camera mount is way up high. And it's still cutting off the top of the board. But yeah, this board, I have done so many projects on it, and I pushed so hard that I actually pushed right through the back, which I need to get the nail back in there a little bit better because I, cleaning it, got a little too vigorous and kind of pushed it down. But that's the amazing thing about the boards. They are guaranteed, so no worries. But at any rate, tonight we're going to come in and we're going to do this amazing transfer that is called Farm Sweet Farm. And I'm just pulling over all of the cute little pieces to this. So we've got Farm, Sweet, and then you repeat the farm. Look at all these adorable little pieces. I love this lantern. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do Farm Sweet Farm, and then I'm going to do a set of 3 lanterns with candles in them. I thought that that would be really cute. And then maybe next to Sweet, I might do this. I may pop a couple of these, and maybe I'll throw a jug in or two, depending if I can fit it. And I'll put a little heart on the jug. I thought that would be cute. We'll see what we can fit in here. I'm going to go with very kind of earthy tones. I have white, I have pumpkin, I have sand, and I have elephant gray. Let me make sure I'm saying that right. Yep, elephant gray. Now, having said that, all of our chalk pastes have actually changed names since our catalog came out for autumn and fall. I still have a crap ton of pastes from the previous catalog, so that's why I'm using those. But just know that moving forward, they're very similar colors, but just the names have changed in the new catalog. So just be mindful of that. I am still going to use all my old paste because I want to get as many projects out of each jar of paste that I can. So for me, it makes sense to just keep using those. But just to be aware of that the names have changed. We've got some really pretty cool new chalk paste names, and that are great for the upcoming holiday season and great for everyday transfers. Things like this kind of transfer, Farm Sweet Farm. We have, what I'm using is Elephant Gray for Farm Sweet Farm, but the new color is actually called Storm, and it's very similar. So I just took my transfer, which is sticky on the back. It is a silkscreen reusable transfer, so I literally just put it on my shirt to take some fuzz and put the fuzz on the back of here, and that way it makes my transfer not stick quite as hard to my surface, and then that way I'll be able to get it off without stretching the transfer, because I want to get as many uses out of this transfer as I can. See how easy that just came right back off? Because I fuzzed it, and that's what we want to do. Just trying to get that centered. So I think that what I'll do is I think I'm gonna do Farm and Farm again in gray, and then do Sweet with a little touch of pumpkin just to make that kind of pop. And then I thought I would do the lanterns in white and then the candles in my sand color. So what I'm gonna do is just lay out where I want Farm to go. And the reason I'm doing that is because I'm gonna do Sweet first and pumpkin, and then come in and do gray, Farm, and then put a nice thin coat on there so that way I can take it and repeat it down here without washing in between. So that's kind of my plan of attack here. And again, labeling the back of our transfers, that's the shiny side. When we are done with our transfer, it goes back on the shiny side, not the paper side. So that is a helpful little tip there. And that's usually the very first thing that we do when we open up a brand new transfer. we want to make sure that we're labeling the back, right? Because I have learned that lesson where I put it on the wrong side of the paper. Fortunately, I was able to get it back off, but you might not be fortunate all the time to be able to get it back off, so it's good to just take that little extra step and write on the back of your transfer so you know which side it goes on. I just want to put this here, this way it'll be easier for me to grab it right off when I'm doing it, so I can just grab the next layer off. So, again, we're going to go with Elephant Gray for farm. And we're going to go with pumpkin. Sorry, I had to take a quick sip. Pumpkin for sweet. So, I have my chalk paste over here to the side. I did give them a nice stir before I came live, just so I had everything set up. So, you're looking for like the consistency of yogurt. This actually, it's really hot in this room right now for some strange reason. So, and I had these jars open for a few minutes. I'm just going to add just a little bit more water, and that's going to get it to that yogurt-like consistency that we're looking for. I am almost out. I'm going to have to break down and actually buy the brand new gray chalk paste that is called Storm now. So that's gray. Let's start with the pumpkin. Like I said, we're going to do that first so that I can quick do, and this is a brand new jar, so it's pretty full. Just give that one more quick stir. And when you open up a new jar, I'm going to hold this up here, you can kind of hear, it sounds like Rice Krispies. So when you have a brand new jar, and you're going to give it a very good vigorous stir, and once you stop hearing that Rice Krispie sound, that means you've got it stirred up pretty good, so you're ready to go. So again, we're going to take a squeegee. It's got a beveled edge down here. That's the side that you want to use, so I usually just get a little bit on here and then just slide off from the back. So I've got a nice helping of the paste up front. And then we can just literally cover our silkscreen area. And I did put a lot of paste. I don't need all this paste on here. You can see that was more than enough to cover. So I'm just going to put the excess back in and then go over one more time with a little bit heavier of a touch. And you can see how I'm pulling all that paste off. And then we just want to make sure that we don't have any lines in there and get that excess back. I have a tray of water off to my left-hand side, and that tray of water is where we're going to put all our used squeegees and where we're going to put our transfers. So that way it's going to start getting the chalk paste off. Oh, I can't get my finger in there. Hurry up, I don't want this to dry on here. There we go. Just apply even pressure across like that, because you don't want to stretch the transfer. Wow, that really pops on the board, doesn't it? That's pumpkin. That looks really pretty. Okay. I'm going to give just a very quick shot of heat to dry it. It's not going to take any time at all, because I'm going to do farm, and then I'm going to come right back down and lay farm down again, so it will spell out farm, sweet farm. Already dry. Okay, so let's do this very quickly. We're going to grab our gray again. Just going to pull some of that chalk paste down here so I can grab some. Let's grab a little bit bigger of a squeegee. Oh, that wasn't my bigger one. I have some that are cut just a little bit bigger. There we go. That's what I was looking for. This one I just cut just a little bit bigger for these bigger transfers. So again, just covering just the silkscreen area. Just applying a little pressure to pull that chalk paste right on over my letters. Like so. Now I just want to make sure I come back and get all that excess off, because I want to use the transfer again without washing it. So I'm going to have to try to do this quickly. So we're going to pull this up. Oh, of course I got a big chunk of gray on my finger. Alright, let's get that off. Again, applying even pressure as we pull across. Awesome, and that is supposed to look distressed like that. It's not that you can see it in the transfer, that it has little specks in there to make it look distressed. So that is awesome. Alright, and you can see that my silkscreen area is pretty clear. So by doing that nice thin coat, now I can actually use the transfer again for a second time without washing. You can usually sometimes get 3 goes at it, if that makes sense. 3 passes with your chalk paste on the transfer and before you need to clean it, because then the transfer, the silkscreen area will start to get clogged with paste because it's going to start drying on there. So if you work kind of quickly, and hopefully it didn't start drying on there, so hopefully I can get this off. There you go, just getting all my lines out, all that excess chalk paste in there. I think I'm done with gray. I'll put my squeegee in my tub of water. Perfect. It actually did start to dry. I may wind up coming in and washing that off with water and redoing that one. But it doesn't look awful, but it did start to dry in the silkscreen area. You can just see that it's faded in little pieces, but that's okay. I'm gonna show you how to wash it off and do it again. In the meanwhile, we're just gonna kind of try to do the same thing here. I'm really testing the limits tonight. So here's my lantern, which I wanna put at the bottom. So I'm gonna fuzz that transfer up, and we're gonna try again and get 3 times this time. And I'm using the white chalk paste, which does go on a lot thinner for some reason. The white chalk paste is, I don't know if you can see, it kind of looks a little bit like fluff, but that goes on really well, the white. So I think that we'll be able to get 3 passes with our lantern right across the bottom here. Okay, now I fuzzed up my lantern. I'm going to put it right down here, and we're going to try this again. We're going to try to get 3 passes out of here. Let's see. And that is way crooked. Let's try that again. Okay, there's one. I wonder if I could do, where is that little guy? I could maybe do 2 lanterns and 2 of these. That might look cute, just like having it like go down in a row. I think that's what I'm going to do. So let's try that. Let's cover this guy. Okay, there's 1 pass, making sure that's a nice thin coat. We're going to go right next to it and do another one. Try to line that up. Just making sure that I'm not feeling any bubbles in that silkscreen area. And making sure I'm getting all that excess back off again. I'm going to try for 1 more. Let's see. It may be starting to dry on my silk screen, but we're going to see what happens. And we'll try 1 more. I'm just going to move this one down just a little bit. I was just slightly off. So now I'm going to intentionally make this one lower. Okay. Feeling no bubbles? Go for it. Here's our 3rd go at it with the same transfer with not cleaning in between. So let's see, hopefully this works. Yay, we got 3 of them out of the 1 and we didn't have to clean in between, so that's awesome. So I think we're gonna try it with the jug too. Let's give that a whirl too. We can maybe get 2 jugs in here. I'm just gonna fuzz this up real quick. I think I'm gonna use white again because maybe I'll give a pop of, you know what I think I'm gonna do? I think I'm gonna do the star actually on the jugs, and I'm gonna do the star in the same pumpkin. Let's give that a shot. Just gonna heat these real quick so that they're nice and dry. Nice and dry, and now my little jug is nice and fuzzed up. So let's put 2 of the jugs down. I'm gonna continue and do those in white as well. That's crooked. Grab another squeegee. And we'll get 2 little jugs out of this. Nice thin coat, got all my lines out. So cute. All right, we'll get one more in here. These are a little off center. Did not line these up very properly, but that's okay. Okay, one more out of this. There we go. Got all that excess off. Perfect. Now that's gonna go into my pan of water too, and look at all that excess chalk paste I had on there, so I'm gonna put that right back into my jar. And I think I'm gonna leave white out. You know why? Because I was thinking maybe I am gonna grab evergreen, or maybe I'll do these in white. I think I might do these in white. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do those 2 in white right next to it. So let's go for that. Just gonna fuzz both of these up, and while I still have my white out, let's just do that real quick. I'll go there. I wonder if I should do that. I keep second guessing myself if I should do that in evergreen or if I should do it in white. I think I am gonna stick with white. I kinda like white. And since I have it out already. Just trying to see where that... I should be getting out our cool tape so I can line this up. But I hate like heck to break into my tape. So what I will do... I have one of these guys, so I'm just gonna see if we're kind of straight here. Sorry if I'm putting my head in the camera. I think that looks pretty good. We're pretty straight. Let's grab another squeegee and we will cover these 2. Yep, sorry I put my head in the camera there, guys. Just gonna cover these 2 real quick. Just to give some more jazz up here at the top of the board. And getting all that excess back off. And then voila, we can take these 2 off. Oh, I like that. That just gives it a little something up top. There we go. Oh, that transfer didn't want to come off my finger. Okay, so I think that these are dry. Yep. So we can go ahead, put our candle in. Just want to make sure that I definitely fuzz that up because that is going to be overlapping inside of my lantern. So I want to make sure that the back is nice and fuzzed so it's not going to pull up any of this. So we're just going to line this right up in here real quick. And I'm also going to try to do this 1, 2, 3 real quick. So let's see. I've had this chalk open for a little bit. So let's give this a little squirt. Like that. I shouldn't have stirred this right on top of my board. That was not smart. Okay, now I've got a cute little tiny piece of a squeegee that's perfect for this size. So let's just get a little bit on here. Getting all that excess off. I'm gonna grab my lid so I can set that down. There's one. a little crooked on me. Just want to make sure I'm in there. Yep, there's 2. Perfect, and 1 more to go. There we go. Voila. Okay. I think that it just the gray must have really started drying out because it's a bit bigger here. And I was able to get 3 out of these because they were smaller and I probably went a little quicker, so maybe that's why I could get a few more out of those guys. But how cute do they look? I really like that. So now I think we're done with our sand. So I'm just going to close that up because that's been sitting here open for a little bit too long. Hello, Rhonda. And then I think we will put, where'd that cute little star go? Then I think we're going to put little stars in here on these jugs. And I'm really kicking myself because I probably should have went lantern, jug, lantern, jug, lantern. But what can you do? It's already done. If it bugs me that much, I can always wash it off and then change it out and do it again. So I'm just fuzzing up the little star transfer again because now this is definitely going to be sitting right on top of, so it is layer. So make sure that's really good and fuzzy. So we're just going to come in here and pop a little pumpkin star on there. That'll be really cute. And this will take just a tiny hint of chalk paste on there, like so. And then we'll do the same thing here. Like so. That's just something to give it a little extra something on the jug, and I think it looks really cute. But I definitely think this needs something more. It's a little bare in the center after farm. So I have to think about what I want to put in there, because this is a rather, the transfer is an 8.5 by 11, and this is a bigger board. Just want to get that off, that's bugging me. So dry that off while we're here. I think I'm going to show you real quickly how to wash that off and then do it again. Let me just close up these jars real quick, and that way they're not going to get any more dried out. So we'll move these to the side here. I am going to need the gray, elephant gray again, because I'm going to redo farm. So let's just close this for a second. And I'm wondering if I should have moved that down and put him up here, because now he's going to look kind of silly here. But maybe not. I don't know. I think I should have thought through the design of this a little bit more. I like it, but it's just, it definitely needs something more in here. But in the meanwhile, while we think about that, let's move this to the side for a hot second. And then I'm going to get a towel and we're going to clean off the word farm. And then I can redo that section. So here is my tray of all my water and transfers and everything else that I was throwing over here. So we're just going to take farm out of here real quick. And we're going to clean that off, and then that way I can redo on the board real quick. Okay, so once I get the chalk paste off, I'm just going to put that sticky side up on my towel. I'm going to grab another paper towel. I like to just get all the excess water. I like to get that excess off before I use my wipe. And normally if I were cleaning this for good, I would normally use the Clorox disinfectant wipe to make sure that I'm really cleaning out the silkscreen area, but since I'm going to be using it right away again, I'm not going to bother using the Clorox wipe just yet. I'm just trying to get it dry. I got a piece of paper towel in there. Just trying to get it dry so that I can reuse it again. So I'm going to leave that here for a second. And then we'll bring our board back up. And then I'll show you how quickly it is to remove the part that I want to replace. Let's see if we can slide this in here without knocking things over. So all that I need to do is use a little bit of water. And get a clean paper towel. And voila, it's going to come right off. We need a little bit of water. Normally I go crazy with the water when I'm removing a design, but since I'm only removing a little piece, I'm trying to be careful and not hit anything around it. And of course I sprayed a little bit there. That's okay. Now that we have that all cleaned off, just spritz a little water up here. Now we can go back and redo farm because I was trying to use it twice in a row without cleaning it, and it got a little dried out, so that's why it didn't come out as nice as I would have liked it. Let me just go over that one more time because I can see some residue of chalk here. Just want to make sure I get that off real good because that's stuff like that drives me a little batty. Okay. All right. I think we got all the chalk off now. So we're just going to replace the transfer back on here. Go down just a little bit. There we go. Oop. And if that happens, if you get a little bubble, it's okay. Just, if I could get this off. There we go. Just peel it back down and push back down, and then we'll get that bubble right out. So let's grab our gray again. Got another squeegee, and we're just gonna go ahead and do this one more time. So that way, I think my gray, I need to get a new gray because this is getting a little thick. And that could be why too. Probably should have added just a little more water. You kind of get to know what the chalk paste feels like after you've used it for a little bit, and I can tell that this is definitely getting a little thick. I'm down to the bottom of the jar. And it's drying super fast on here. Okay. Trying to be quick. There we go. Now we got it. Now that looks a lot better. So we'll give that a quick dry. So in hindsight, this transfer was probably a little bit big for this board. It definitely needs some more pieces to it, and I'm gonna think about maybe pulling something from another transfer and adding some more detail to it. But I love the color combination. I like the pumpkin and the elephant gray and the white together. I think that looks really, it's a kind of like a very earthy tones. I love these lanterns down here. They are super cute. I think if I would have done it differently, like I said, I would have probably done lantern jug, and then just kind of had them in a row like that. But super cute. I'll probably do I definitely will take a finished picture once I look at it for a little bit and decide what else I want to add, because I definitely want to add some more things to it, because it does have a little bit of space here, and I need something in there. I could go and like frame this in the leaves. That's an option, so that would look kind of cute. And then I have like an arrow or something I could put down here that's kind of like farm style. So there's a couple options. I'm going to think about it, pull out a couple more transfers, and maybe pull some pieces from another set, because I definitely have another farmer's type set that I can use. But yeah, so that was fun. I really like these lanterns a lot down here. I think that they came out super cute. And I thank you so much for watching. Have a fantastic rest of your night, and I will talk to you later. Bye.